Hi everyone, today it's quite cold in the UK. I have a thick woolly jumper on to cope with the temperature, but not for long because fingers crossed, all being well, I will eventually, after years of waiting, board an aeroplane and go away with my family for Easter. I really hope nothing goes wrong in the meantime. Anyway, that is the plan. So today's video is going to be all about all of the products that I'm taking with me, and I am trying so hard to pack light. I really am trying so hard. It's actually making me anxious, the fact that I am leaving loads of stuff behind and not just packing everything in my drawers and taking it all with me. I am convinced that I can do it this year. We'll see by the end of this video. In true holiday style, let's dive straight in. If you're new here, hi, my name's Gemma. I upload new videos on YouTube every single week, and I would absolutely love it if you would consider clicking on that subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Let's start with skincare. I need a really good cleanser when I'm on holiday, one that will remove all my SPF, all of my makeup, all dirt, grime, surface cleanse, and a deep cleanse as well, to make sure that I don't get any breakouts, which I can often get on holiday with applying lots of SPF and also sweating a lot, which I'm hoping it's going to be warm enough for me to do when we're away on holiday. So everything that I need from a cleanser I will get from the Ordinary Squalane cleanser. No, it's not luxurious packaging, but I don't need that when I'm traveling. I definitely don't want to be taking lots of glass bottles that I can drop onto a tile floor, which I will, and smash everywhere. So this is everything that I could need. And it's also really gentle on the skin, no essential oils, no fragrances, and it's safe enough and gentle enough for Beatrice to use on her skin and Seth to use on his and Wes to use on his as well. And once I get to the end of my holiday, if I'm running out of room in my case, you know, if I've done a little bit too much shopping, this is so affordable. It doesn't matter if I leave this in the hotel room. I mean, I will have got down a full chunk of it. I'm not taking this one, by the way. This wouldn't last 2 minutes. I am taking a newer version. So yeah, it will be a brand new one I will take away. But if I don't use it all, it's not a massive issue to have to leave the leftovers in the hotel room. I love this stuff. It's gentle and it works. Now, when it comes to skincare, I like to really tone things down when I'm away on holiday. I am not going to be taking my tretinoin on holiday with me for the main reason that I've just gone up a level, so it's doubled in strength, and I'm going to be out in the sun all day, every day. Yes, I'm going to have a lot of SPF plastered all over me, and yes, I'm going to have a big hat on, but nevertheless, my skin is not used to being outside all day, and it's not used to being in sunlight. I am a little bit of a vampire when I'm at home. I tend not to go out very much. So because of the sheer change in not only temperature, but exposure to sunlight, I'm not going to be taking my tretinoin. That doesn't mean that if you are in a hot, sunny country, you shouldn't be using tretinoin in the summertime, but always take the advice of your dermatologist. I'm not taking mine. I'm going to have a couple of weeks off and then I'll get back on it when I return. I'm also not taking my NIOD Superoxide Dismutase Saccharide Mist because it just takes up too much room. So the antioxidant that I'm going to be relying on is the Beauty Pie Superdrops Brightening and Oxygenating. This is primarily a niacinamide serum, and it is the only bit of skincare in a glass bottle that I will be taking with me. Usually I dispense it into a plastic tube for ease. I'm not going to bother with this. I'm just going to put it in a sock and hope for the best. So I love this. I think it's beautiful. It's really hydrating, and it will look after my skin barrier, which is, after protecting my skin, my #1 priority whilst I'm away on holiday. Now this is in a glass bottle, but I will be dispensing this into a plastic tub. The NIOD hydration vaccine, I will only dispense the amount that I'm going to use during the holiday, and by the time I leave and come home, the bottle will be empty. I'm going to be applying this in the evening to make sure my skin gets that boost of hydration, and I also lock in that hydration all the way through the night because we are going to be in an air-conditioned room. So usually if you are putting any sort of hydration elements onto your skin and not locking them in place. They'll just evaporate as the night goes on. So you really do need to lock it in place if you are going to be adding anything like hyaluronic acid or glycerin to your skin, and this will definitely do that. So I want to make sure that my skin barrier is protected and that it's nourished and it has the ability to hydrate itself and repair itself overnight. Now, I am going to be taking my Azelaic Acid 20% cream from DERMATICA. Whether I will use this or not, it depends on how my skin feels at the time. Usually I would use this in the morning, and I will continue to do so on holiday if my skin feels up to it. And then I would apply moisturizer over the top and then an SPF. But again, it all depends on how my skin is faring with the heat and the sun, and, you know, all the differences that you get whilst you're away. If I can, I will continue to use this, and I won't dispense it into anything else because it's in the perfect packaging to begin with. And finally, I need a heavy duty moisturizer, and this definitely does the job. I actually picked this up after hearing my mum talk about it the other day. I felt like I needed something slightly heavier and richer for my skin because I do still get that little bit of dryness around my mouth area, and lo and behold, she's not just a pretty face. This really does work. I used to use this way back when, and then I stopped using it and used the lighter version, and now I've gone full circle and gone back to the richer, heavier version, and I am loving it. But I will definitely need something heavier and richer on holiday, so I am going to be taking this. No, I am not going to be taking the entire thing. I will dispense what I need out of this and then leave the rest of it here. In the evening, once I've used this, I would top it off with the hydration vaccine from NIOD. Just in case you were wondering what order I would apply those in, that is the order. And last but not least, SPF. These are not the only SPFs that I will be taking with me. I will be taking a lot of SPFs for the body, numerous SPFs for the face, because I will be reapplying constantly. I won't be wearing makeup in the daytime on holiday. I am going to be going for a brow lamination and tint, and also a lash lift and tint as well. So hopefully I will look semi-decent during the day without makeup on anyway. I don't see the point in wearing makeup on holiday when you're going to be getting wet and getting in and out of a pool and constantly reapplying SPF anyway. So that is the plan. My favourite SPFs are the Ultraviolet Supreme Screen Hydrating Facial Sunscreen. This is the one that I will be using on my face the majority of the time, but again, I will be taking other ones with me. And then the Ultraviolet Hydrating Lip Balm, which is also an SPF 50. Love both of these, and they also sit really nicely on the skin and sit beautifully under makeup. So it goes without saying that the NIMI fan is coming on holiday with me and will go wherever I go. My children keep trying to steal this from me. They are not having it. This has been gold dust and come in handy on more than one occasion when I've got a little hot under the collar for really non-exciting reasons, which is really quite sad. Anyway, this is coming with me. Let's talk hair for a second. Now, I am a little strange when I'm on holiday. I'm not quite sure if everybody else does the same as me, but there are reasons behind my madness. I like to put a hair mask on first thing in the morning and then scrape my hair back and put it up in a bun. And the reason I do that is because the mask that I choose has heat protection in it, as well as being nourishing and hydrating. So whilst I'm out in the sun, I don't fry my hair and damage it even more than it already is. So the mask that I'm taking with me on holiday is from REDKEN, and this is the Acidic Perfecting Concentrate. This is a leave-in formula, so you don't actually have to wash this out, but obviously it will get washed out throughout the day when, I start to sweat quite a lot and get in and out of the pool. I can always reapply this as and when I want, but I probably won't do first thing in the morning, and I'll just leave it be. I will also be taking my OLAPLEX 4 and 5, the shampoo and the conditioner, for myself and B to use whilst we're away on holiday, and Seth and Wes will use a slightly different shampoo and conditioner because they don't have that much hair. And Olaplex is expensive, and they're not having it. So the fragrances I'm taking away, my number one fragrance that I'm desperate to take away, I've mentioned a few times already on my channel. This is from DIPTYQUE, and it's the Eau Rose, and it's a solid fragrance. It's really fresh, it's really vibrant, it's really youthful. and punchy, and I love it. I find it so relaxing and just a really fresh fragrance. But if I'm wanting something that isn't solid, that is in a liquid, there are a couple of fragrances that I'm going to take away from me that I have in little miniature. Now, I went into Givenchy not so long ago and bought a few items. So Paul on the Givenchy counter gave me a sample size of the L'Interdit, and it is beautiful. It really is stunning. My mum got a sample of the newer version, which is a little too sweet for me, and I got this one, so I will be taking this with me. And also, I stumbled across a really fresh, zesty citrus fragrance in French Connection. Now, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be able to link this in the description box for you, because I've been online several times to try and find it, and I can't find this. I found the more musky one, which is my mum's favourite, but I cannot find the really zesty one. I will try and find it, and if I can find it, I will link it. But this is Summer in a Bottle. It is so beautiful. It only says French Connection fragrance on the front of the bottle, but on the packaging it says a fresh citrus floral fragrance of grapefruit, jasmine and vetiver. And it says it's for men and women. Eau de Toilette. That's all it says. So I will try and link it, like I said, but I doubt I will be able to. You will have to pop into your local French Connection to get your hands on this, but you won't regret it. Comes in several different sizes, so it's really affordable. Let's move on to makeup, and this is where I've had the majority of my anxiety because I am not used to not having everything all in one place, and just thinking that I don't have a selection to choose from makes my heart pound. But like I said at the beginning of this video, I am trying to travel as light as possible and pack as cleverly as I can. Not that we can't take lots with us, it's just that I don't want to take lots with us. The first thing I'm taking for definite is my NARS Creamy Colour Corrector. This is absolutely fantastic at cancelling out my dark circles, although once I've got a little bit of a tan, which I'm hoping to stay out of the sun as much as possible, you know, SPF, hat and all that, but you know, it's inevitable that I am going to catch some of the rays. My dark circles tend to fade a little bit as my skin catches up with the pigmentation underneath my eyes. So I do tend to tan quite easily, so it shouldn't be long and I won't need this, but in the first few days of the holiday, definitely taking this. I would be lost without it. Let's talk base products, because this is always a difficult one when you're on holiday because you never know what sort of situations you're going to be in. Like I said before, I'm not going to be wearing makeup by the pool. I just don't see the point. But in the evening, we are going to quite a nice hotel, so I'm going to want to spruce myself up a little bit, and we may go off grounds as well, so I will need that makeup to stand the humidity and the heat and the test of time. So I'm taking a couple of products. In fact, I'm taking 3 base products. You'll have to bear with me. So the first 2 are from the same brand. In fact, they are the same product. They're just in slightly different shades. So I've got the DIOR Backstage in both 0N and also 1N. And I will mix these 2 together depending on the tan that I have at the time. These will only be mixed together and used as one if I am wanting my makeup to last for a really, really long time. If I'm wanting something slightly lighter on my skin, I will either mix these with a little bit of my moisturizer, which is very easy to do and is very effective, or I will mix in my third product, which is out of this world stunning. This is the Chanel Sheer Healthy Glow Tinted Moisturizer. It does have an SPF of 30 in here, but I am not going to be applying anywhere near the amount that I will need to get any sort of protection from this product. So before I apply any of my makeup, I will be applying a standalone SPF, which I mentioned earlier. So this is a stunning product. I actually buy this in a shade that is way darker than my natural skin tone, so that I can mix it with my foundation to deepen off my foundation, to loosen off my foundation, and that way it will grow with me as my skin deepens over the holiday term. So this is actually in the shade Medium Plus, and it's really quite deep, but it does spread out. I would say, even though this says it's a tinted moisturizer, I would say this is anywhere in between a light coverage foundation to a tinted moisturizer, because it's really moisturizing and beautiful, but it also has quite a bit of coverage to it. It's not like any other tinted moisturizer that I've tried. It's beautiful and light, but also has some coverage. So it's a great mixer for all of my other products. And once my skin is this shade, which I'm hoping it won't be by the end of this holiday, but if it is, I can mix this with a little bit of my moisturizer to lighten it off a little bit if I want something really, really lightweight. That's the reason I take 3 products. I can mix them all together and create my own cocktail depending on what sort of finish I want on my skin, what sort of depth I want on my skin, and what sort of weight I want to have on my skin. The Chanel Tinted Moisturizer, because I've picked it in a shade that's darker than my natural skin tone, I can also use this as a bronzer if I want to during the earlier days of my holiday. So it is a multi-purpose product. If I don't want to use the Chanel Tinted Moisturizer as my bronzer, or if my skin has deepened too much to use that as my bronzer, I will be using the Huda Beauty Tantour in the shade Fair. Now, even though this is in the shade Fair, it is way deep enough for me to use all the way through my holiday. It's a lovely consistency. It's really creamy and smooth. I can apply this underneath tinted moisturizer, over tinted moisturizer, and again, the same with a foundation if I want to. This is great for contouring because it's quite a cool tone shade, but it's also great as a bronzer, and it's really nice and hydrating and nourishing on my skin. So when my skin is feeling a little bit parched and I don't want to use powder products on my skin, this will come in really handy. Although I'm going to be having a brow lamination and brow tint, I am still going to be taking my brow products away with me on holiday. The NYX Lift and Snatch, and also the Makeup by Mario, I can never remember what this is called, Master Hold Brow Gel. These are epic, so I'm going to take these with me. They take up very little space anyway, so just in case, they will be in my makeup bag. For concealer, I'm taking a couple of products. Now, they're probably not the couple of products that you would expect me to take. One of them is this first one. This is the Lancome All Over Concealer. This is one of my Ride or Die products, but I usually mix this to give it a little bit of extra coverage and lighten it off a little bit. I don't think I'm gonna feel the need to do that whilst I'm away on holiday. So for the evenings, this is the one that I'm gonna wear, and I'm gonna wear it on its own. It's so stretchy and beautiful. I trust this implicitly to work as it should and to last all evening. The second concealer that I'm going to take with me is only for those mornings when I'm going down to breakfast and I want to look a little bit more refreshed without applying loads of makeup. So literally all I will do in a morning is apply a little bit of blush and a little bit of concealer, and because I'll have had a lash lift and a lash tint and I'll have had my brows laminated and tinted, I don't think I'll want to apply any other products. I'll just want to keep things as simple as possible. So the concealer that I'll be applying underneath my eyes is one that, again, I trust implicitly. This does not crease on me. I didn't like this when I first applied it, but now it is my ride or die for those no makeup days. This is from Clé de Peau, and it's their stick concealer. Now they have released a new version of this. It has been reformulated. I have the old version and I am not buying the new version until I've used this up because it's an expensive product. I want to get my wear out of it. It is so beautiful. It's one of those cream concealers that's not overly emollient. It is hydrating and nourishing enough under the eyes. It definitely doesn't dry out the under eyes, but it's dry enough to dry down and not crease. It also doesn't have that satin sheen on the surface of the skin, which actually, once it's reflected, can enhance all your under eye texture and your fine lines and wrinkles. It's the perfect product for me to use in the morning. And once I'm back up to the room, this will probably come off and more SPF will go on. The powder that I'm taking with me is from NIKKIA Joy. This is the Velvet Finishing Powder and it's the pressed version. This is such good stuff. I have never tried a finishing powder that mattifies my skin as well as this one without drying it out. So I've got a feeling that I'm going to be super shiny in the evenings because it's going to be really hot and sweaty over there. So hopefully this will allow me to stay looking really quite fresh whilst also being rather warm. Also, the fan will help. I'm gonna be the crazy fan lady whilst we're away. So we've not talked eyes yet, and I will be taking both of my Makeup by Mario eye pencils. The darker one is in the shade Perfect Brown, and it seriously is perfect brown. And then I'm going to take the brightening pencil as well. These come in really handy, and they'll take up pretty much no space whatsoever and really finish my look and elevate it to the next level. So I want to take it with me. If I was traveling super light, would I? Probably not, but you know, they take up little to no space. So I'm going to take them. They're going over here. Eyeshadow. I am not taking a humongous palette. I don't think there's anything worse than getting to your destination and finding that your massive big palette has been battered around in your case and it's all broken and now all over all your clothing. So I'm just going to be taking a couple of small palettes. This first one is from Charlotte Tilbury and it's the Super Nudes Easy Eye Palette. This is so wearable. It's really classy. It's effortless to apply and also looks effortless on the lid as well. Wes loves it. In fact, I did a look with this not so long ago and I went downstairs and he said, could you possibly take that palette with you on holiday? So I think he's a fan. The next product that I'm going to take that's an eyeshadow is from Chanel. This is my limited edition Mediterranean palette in 747. These shades are beautiful. I'm not quite sure if you can still get this because this was the spring collection and I'm not quite sure if once they were all sold out, that was it. You couldn't get them. But with all of the Charlotte Tilbury shadows being matte, I'm going to take these with me just to add a little bit of sparkle on the odd occasion if I want to. I could quite easily leave this one at home, but I don't want to. I want to take it. I do feel like this whole traveling light thing is going out of the window as this video progresses. The mascara that I am going to be taking on holiday with me is the LANCOME Lash Idole Waterproof. I was gonna take my MAC stack and I know I'm gonna miss my MAC stack while we're away. If it was just a couple of nights that I was going, I would take my MAC stack and I would take my Huda Beauty waterproof top coat. But because I'm going away for 10 days, I don't really want to be faffing around with two different mascaras every single evening. So I decided I'm just gonna take a waterproof one and have done with it. That's traveling light for you. There you go. I'm managing one thing, leaving my ultimate favorite at home and replacing it with one that, you know, it's not half shabby anyway, but it's a waterproof version. I could get away with wearing this in the daytime as well with it being waterproof, which is why I've decided to take this one rather than risking being a smudgy mess with my MAC stack. Moving on to cheeks, I'm only taking one blush. How good am I doing? I know, big pat on the back for me. Maybe I shouldn't say that because I mean to only take one blush, but I haven't packed yet and maybe a couple of others may creep into my makeup bag. But at the moment, I mean to only take one blush, so, you know, I'm gonna give me big high fives for that. This is from NARS and it is the Air Matte Blush in the shade Rush. This doesn't look as frightening on the cheek as it does in the jar. It is stunning. You can build it up to be quite vibrant, but you can also have it quite sheer. And because I'm gonna have quite shiny skin anyway because of SPF and all that jazz, having something that's more mattifying on my cheek I think will work really well. This as well will look just as beautiful and natural on bare skin in the morning when I go for breakfast as it will with a full face of makeup in the evening. So a multi-purpose, beautiful, stunning, gorgeous, easy to apply product in one jar. And finally, lips. Again, these don't take up very much room, which is why I'm taking 3 rather than just taking 1 product. I do already have my SPF lip balm, so that will add into the mix in the evening anyway if I want something slightly shinier. But my Ride or Die products, these never fail me. These are so comfortable on the lips and they are bullet proof. These will even last through dinner, through drinks, and yeah, they won't have faded at all. I swear by these. These are from Chanel and they are the La Rouge Duos. They have a double end, they have the pigment end, and they also have a gloss end topper that you add over the top of the pigment to seal it in and to also give you a little bit of nourishment and hydration. You can use the pigment on its own, but I don't personally like it. I think it feels nicer and more comfortable on the lips if you add the top coat. I've got this in 2 different shades. I've got the shade Timeless Beige and also Intense Caramel, and I will be taking them both. And the last products that I'm going to be sneaking into my makeup bag is the Chanel Rouge Cocoa Balm in the shade Natural Charm, which is 914. This has just the right amount of pigmentation, but it is super nourishing and hydrating, just like a lip balm. So it's not masses of pigment, but there's definitely enough. It's extremely classy and understated. And when I don't want a full lip that's bulletproof, this is the product that I will wear. So that's it. That's it, she says. I know it sounds like I'm packing the entire kitchen sink and everything that goes with it, but when it all comes down to it, all my makeup fits into this little makeup bag. So all in all, I think I've done pretty well. Obviously, that doesn't include my skincare, but you know, we've got to make allowances for skincare. That is a necessity at the end of the day. And regardless of whether I'm going for 10 days or 10 weeks, all this makeup and the skincare will do me fine. I won't need any extra pieces or any extra choices along the way. Unfortunately, I am not stopping for 10 weeks. 10 days will have to do. But whilst I'm there, I should be content and not too anxious and worried about all the makeup that's left in my drawers that might feel like they are underachievers or a little lonely. So I will be thinking about them whilst I'm away. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm not quite sure how helpful you might have found it, but people said they wanted to hear what I was taking away with me, so I thought I would share. Don't forget to press the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.